To NTV News First Edition. It is the most wonderful time of the year, or it's coming up to be, but it's not really considered that for everyone. Well, here to talk about this is Dr. Janine Hubbard with this week's Get Psyched with Dr. Janine. It is great to see you again.
Oh, I was going to say thank you so much. Sorry for my absence for a couple of weeks, but really nice to be back.
You know, the holidays, very exciting time for most of us. But there are some people out there who may be having a difficult time with the holidays. So,
yep. And I think that's an important reminder for all of us because it's easy to get carried away, and I don't want to discourage anyone from being excited if you are excited. But just remember that this time of year, we certainly have some groups of individuals who might not be appreciating quite all the same kind of holiday spirit. We know that individuals who struggle with substance use, hi, can I get you a drink? With eating disorders, here's all the food and it must be eaten. We know that individuals with ADHD and autism spectrum disorder, all the changes in routine and the flurry and the overexcitement can cause some issues. We know that people who are struggling financially, and this year that's a lot more people, anyone who's had a life change circumstance, whether it's a divorce, whether it's a move across the country, whether it's the loss of a loved one, we know that anytime there's been change and all of those rituals and routines, it may even be just that family isn't able to get together, whether that's for illness, COVID, all of these things, we know that for some people this is really hard.
it is hard.
Yeah. And we know,
So what are some of the strategies to cope? Yeah, I'm struggling.
Yeah.
Everyone out there watching, they know that I'm struggling this year. So
Yeah.
what are some of the things that I can do and other people can do to cope?
Acknowledging and living in the moment exactly as you're doing, especially for those who've experienced loss. Remember that your days are going to be unpredictable, and there's going to be some days that you might really enjoy things and other days where you just want to have the world go away for a little while, and that's okay. For some, embracing traditions brings back really positive and warm memories of family members. For others, that's just too hard, and if that's the case, that's okay. Listen, nobody's saying you can't decide that this year we're going to have a lasagna for Christmas dinner. We're not going to worry about any of the baking. And in fact, we're going to, do some counter programming and watch some things on TV that have nothing to do with Christmas. If avoiding is helpful to you, that's just fine. For some, it's creating new traditions. It's saying, you know what, it's too hard to try to do all the things we normally do, so let's try something different. For some, it's being action-oriented. So looking at, well, how can I help out in the community? How can I volunteer? Where can I feel like I'm being useful and productive? And I think the biggest message I can give for everyone, whether it's estranged from family, finding those gatherings difficult, is setting boundaries. And it's okay to say to people, look, I'm financially really strapped this year. I'm not going to be able to participate in a number of the activities, because a lot of people are feeling the same way and are relieved when you say that. It's also okay to say, look, guys, I don't know how I'm going to be feeling or if I'm going to be up to doing these activities. Is it okay if I give you a maybe in response to an invitation? And just taking care of yourself. End of the day is going to be the most important thing. Christmas really can be celebrated any time of year in any way that works for you and takes care of you and your loved ones.
You know, there are a lot of people watching tonight who can't wait for Christmas. Yeah. They're super excited, but even the super excited people can get a little bit overwhelmed. Yes. So what can you do to help yourself not get overwhelmed?
Again, be kind to yourself and really focus in on what are the things that are most important to you. Stop worrying about expectations from anybody else. I know there's a lot of people who haven't really been able to celebrate the last couple of years who are feeling this need to almost overcompensate this year. No. Pick one recipe to do some baking with. Pick one activity that's special to you. Ask your kids what's the one thing that they really like to do over the holidays, and don't feel the pressure to do all of it. Again, boundaries and being kind to yourself. Those are ultimately going to be the big messages for everybody this year.
All right, Dr. Janine Hubbard, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks, Tony.